Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. I'm Russ Riesinger. This is The News Now. Hope your day's off to a good start. And no matter which one of our platforms you're watching us on this morning, we certainly appreciate you making WTOC your choice for news. We got some important breaking news that we want to tell you about right now. That is the search for a missing 2-year-old girl that is going on in Port Wentworth at this moment. Take a look here at your screen. Officials say she was last seen in the Lakeshore area off Meinhardt Road. Now, early this morning, around 4 a.m., and she was wearing a leopard print outfit. She was in a stroller at the time. And we've got a live look at the scene out there right now. You can see there is a small lake there in the area. A lot of police and other officials there on the scene. And we don't know a lot more else, but just that she was last seen around 4 a.m. She was in a stroller, they say. If you've got any information on this, you're asked to call Port Wentworth Police, 912-964-4360, or just call 911 immediately. Zach Logan's in the area. He's working to get us some more information about it. We'll keep you updated on air and online with any new information just as soon as we get it. But if you know anything about this missing 2-year-old girl, you're asked to call Port Wentworth Police or 911 immediately, please. A funeral will take place today for community activist Shawntre Grant. We're showing you some video of a vigil that was held last week for Grant, who has spent his life really trying to stop gun violence here in Savannah. He was shot and killed himself on June 15th. It's a murder that still remains unsolved. That funeral will begin at 11 a.m. this morning in less than an hour at Jonesville Baptist Church there on Montgomery Street. An update to some breaking news that we told you about last night over in Bullock County. Bullock County deputies have made an arrest in a homicide that happened there. It's this man, Jerry Thomas Pritchard, who's been arrested. Deputies tell us he was arrested without an incident a little after midnight last night. Now, witnesses say that 2 trucks were stopped at the traffic light of Highway 80 and Burkhalter Road. They say the man in the second truck got out, walked toward the front of that the truck that was in front. And the man in that truck shot the man who was standing in the road and drove away. We are told that these two knew each other and they'd had some kind of a confrontation. We still don't have the name of the victim being released yet. But again, the man who's been arrested is Jerry Thomas Pritchard. And just as soon as we find out more information on this case, we will bring it to you. Del Kennedy's working on that this morning over there in Bullock County. Well, the results are in from South Carolina's runoff election, and probably the biggest headline of that coming as Governor Henry McMaster has won the Republican nomination, beating out John Warren yesterday. McMaster credited his endorsements from the White House and his experience.
With what we have now in South Carolina, we are on the edge of the greatest prosperity that we've ever had. There's nothing like it. And they tell us that.
Well, Governor McMaster ended up with about 54% of the vote. That's a 12% bump from the primary results. Both Vice President Mike Pence and President Trump held rallies in the past week in South Carolina to support McMaster. In his acceptance, he gave credit to his opponent for running a strong race.
And I especially want to thank John Warren. He ran a good, strong race, and I salute that military service of his, and salute the veterans and those in the military in South Carolina.
McMaster will face Democrat nominee James Smith Jr. come November. In one local election, it was Mark Lawson beating out Mike Raymond. That was for the District 9 county council seat there in Beaufort County. Lawson had received almost half the votes in the primary election and got almost 2/3 yesterday in the runoff. Lawson says the landslide victory occurred because he's known as a proactive man in the community. He'll now head to the general election in November. He'll face Democrat Mark McGinnis. We've got all the results from South Carolina's runoffs on our website, WTOC.com. Just click on the elections results section. It's right there on the home page. And a reminder, if you live in Georgia, in-person absentee voting for the primary runoff is July 2nd through the 20th. The runoffs, of course, coming up on July 24th, and the general election, it's a big one, that'll be on November 6th. Well, Amazon says that Prime members can now get savings through Whole Food stores all across the country, including right here in our area. Starting today, Prime members can get 10% off certain sales items and other discounts. Eligible customers can activate the deal through the Whole Foods app or during checkout in the store. Prime deals in the stores will be marked with yellow and blue stickers. All right. Let's take a live look outside right now, looking over at Hutchinson Island. We're in for another warm day, kind of a ditto on our forecast. Warm temperatures, chance of those afternoon storms once again today. Cutter Martin's going to be joining us coming up at 11 with the very latest on that. We're going to see a lot of you chiming in here, wishing the very best for that missing 2-year-old girl. We're on the scene there in Port Wentworth in the Lakeshore area. She has been missing since about 4 this morning, and of course we'll be bringing you the very latest on that just as soon as we find out more information on air here on WTOC.com. Cutter will be back here at 11 with a look at that forecast, and I hope you have a great day. I'm Russ Riesinger.